Hello, my name is Biljana Vozarević, and today I welcome you to listen together with me, Mohanji's podcast on the topic Change Your Life, Change Your Attitude. Really be powerful. As usual, in these 41 Days of Compassion series, we are going to start with chanting a beautiful, powerful mantra, Mahamriti Anjaya mantra, the mantra of immortality, the mantra which heals diseases, a mantra whose sounds of Sanskrit really raise vibrations, raise and elevate consciousness, and makes us experience this, our true nature, which is pure energy beyond any limitations, pure energy beyond birth and death, pure energy, which is ultimate consciousness. And it helps us not only theoretically know this, but to experience this within ourselves, if it gets repeated a lot of times. For now, it really sets beautiful tone for today's session. Close your eyes and feel your heartbeat, feel your breath. For a few seconds, just pay attention to your body. Breathe in deeply and breathe out. Long, deep breath. This is the first step for feeling better. Just pay attention to your body. And we are going to chant from the stomach, not from the throat. So feel from the stomach and more within. Let's say about 80% within, 20% loud. So then we feel the sounds and your whole body is like a musical instrument. Inhale. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। And relax. You can listen with your eyes closed as well.
Collectively, you can create great things. Hello, my friends. We spoke about domestic violences, psychological disorders, attention deficit syndromes, all those kind of things. Where are all these things coming from? We discussed that in the last episode. I decided to take this to one more episode because this is very important. It's about our stability. If we are stable at home, a house where there is a lot of love, there is a lot of stability, the society sees that happening as well in the society because these people bring that stability to the society. We need a lot of stable people. We need stability within us, in our household, and the society. And we must while we can. So I was talking about how I was experiencing life many times in childhood, in youth, and also during my working times in the companies. I have faced failures, tremendous failures. And each time I face failures, I realize that there is hardly any company. People don't appreciate you to fail, or people don't appreciate people who fail. They only want winners. The criteria of assessment for winning is money, richness, materials which are visible. Even like a good pen or a car or something tangible, visible. But how they earned it, we don't know. Sometimes some people have compromised their conscience to earn that, but people do not have a problem with that. Oh, they have earned this. I myself have experienced either trusted people cheating, betraying, and those kind of things. And society sometimes supports them. I become so surprised that society has no problem, even if they do a bad thing. Bad thing means putting somebody down, betraying, cheating, stealing, like that. Society do not have a problem. Society have no problem if they bribe and get their way through. So we are looking at a society which is a bit aberrated, corrupted. We can't look at society and then decide how we should be, because that's probably not the right benchmark. What we should be is what helps our conscience. Do we feel good? Are we stable in our conscience? This is a good benchmark to talk about, because if our conscience is clear, I think we have a good existence. When we are violent in the house, when we abuse our family members, we are angry and fighting with them and kind of ignoring them, disrespecting them, we don't feel good. Conscience is affected, and we must understand why it's happening. Sometimes we need external help, counseling. We must get that done. We must go for it. Every time the domestic violence is happening, we should not just blame the person. We just look at the psychology of the person. Probably the person has gone through many, many sorrows, many disappointments, many betrayals, or many rejections. So this frustration is boiling inside. And that's the expression of domestic violence could be that. Right from school days, we must counsel children. We must reward them for small things, recognize them for their talents, appreciate them, and bring them up with confidence, where their own talents is the only thing they need to give to the society, not what all the society wants. It's not about the marks in school, it's not about the grades, it's not about succeeding exams even, but their own talents, how well they can hone it, they will be peaceful, settled. If small appreciations cannot happen, even later big appreciations will not have value. Every small thing should be appreciated. I've experienced different difficulties. One is the workplace competition, discrimination. I even had a situation where there was a hardship allowance when you have to go to countries which are very fragile and very difficult. And that time it was Iraq. Iraq was very difficult. And they decided to give one set of hardship allowance for me, and to my colleague, who was a British guy, he was given a different hardship allowance. And then when I asked why is the difference, they gave me some lame excuses, which did not hold water. And then I asked them, see, this is not good because everybody's life is same. All people have the same life. Our value for life is same. And this is not good. So two different hardship allowances in the same office, it's discrimination. So these kind of things happen. I was not feeling so good at that time, but then I did my job. I decided, okay, forget about all that. A job has to be done and it should be done. I did not believe in protesting and just ignoring the job. I did my job well, and that earned the company money, and all those things I did as I had to. So I believe that we should not ignore our work and we should do what we have to do. These kind of things were a problem. Like this was a workplace difficulties. But I continued. The point I'm saying is that we can do a lot in our world, to make a balance in people's lives. See, small things like equality, equanimity. Nobody is higher, nobody is lower. Everybody is appreciated for their good work. These kind of things we can implement in our life easily. We appreciate, we respect, we reward, and we recognize. All these things can help stabilize. And society brands you very easily. When I lost my daughter in 2000, and I lost so many things of life in the corresponding years, and then the best of friends were not available. They were all busy with their own life, and they don't really want to spend a time with a kind of loser of the society. So I experienced all these things, and I was wondering, how deep is our love? How deep is our friendship, commitment, conviction? How deep is our companionship? How deep is our ability to love unconditionally or against all odds? All these questions were happening, and I decided they are not worth thinking. What you can do is what should stabilize you. Your expression, that's your stability. I was literally focusing on myself. I ignored the world around me, and that stabilized me. So now the questions which came are connected to domestic violence. So I will not deviate from that. I will speak about this and conclude. Imagine you have no appreciation from home. What do? You got to love yourself. You have to accept yourself. You have to really consider and respect yourself as a great personality. It has nothing to do with other people's appreciation or rejection. So if you really believe in yourself, if you really, really appreciate even small aspects of yourself, such as your heartbeat, your breathing, your eating, your sleeping, and you have so many good things happening in your life, like you have a shelter, you have a roof over your head, you have food to eat. All those things can be considered as merits. Just count on what you have. Or even the Mohanji platform you have. That platform is giving you a lot of opportunities, connections, visibility, so many good factors. So if you are looking at what you don't have, you will always be sad. But if you look at what you have and start walking, that's the only place you can start walking. This is what I did. When adverse situations were pulling me down all the time, I got up and started walking again. Many times I got knocked down, but I got up again and walked. And that's exactly why you have Mohanji today. It wasn't easy because many people whom I trusted most, they betrayed me and they decided to go against me. All these things happened. But I still continued to walk. I didn't ask them why. I didn't even discuss with them. That is the experience you want with me? Go ahead, have it. Because I can't change it. To love me or hate me. And I have nothing to do with it. So if somebody hates you, somebody abuses you, you have nothing to do with it. Instead, you can be kindness. Your answer to this world should be your kindness, your consistency, your compassion, and your conviction in what you do. And this way, if you answer, eventually the world will look at you with the same effect. Means all that you express will come back to you. So my suggestion, I can't do these things because my family does not approve, etc. You can still communicate. If you have a laptop, if you're talking, if you're using your phone to communicate, write, communicate. If you can't do it at home because the people don't approve your meditations and your activities, you still have a phone, you have an internet connection, you have your laptop. So talk about it, connect to people, network, and communicate. So that's equal. Now today, you can't really go to a place and meditate because of the COVID-19 situation. So we have to use our internet facilities, our Skypes and all these things where you talk to various people through internet, through the laptop. So see, we have to keep on looking at what we have, not look at whether the other person approves or not and then fight it and then get frustrated and then you feel depressed. That's not the way. We got to just keep flowing like water, like river. We got to keep flowing. And this is our ability. We got to really, really keep flowing. And when I felt discrimination in my office, I did not stop working. I did not protest. I just told them that's unfair and then I left it because I expressed my thought to the right people, right person, and then I just left it because then it's up to them. But I did not stop working. What I did was I worked hard. I proved myself. I did my best. Like that, in every situation, you can prove yourself. You can actually make a difference in your own environment by expressing conviction consistently with a lot of determination. So we can change anything. I think there is nothing we can't change. Change our attitude. If we change our attitude, we can change anything. If we don't change our attitude, then we will sit and complain. I believe that there is no room for complaints. God has given us so many facilities. We must appreciate them. What we don't have, leave it. Because if it comes, it comes. It doesn't come, no problem. But what we have, we must appreciate and we must really use it well. We have that capacity. And you have friendships, great friendships in the Mohanji platform also. So this you can use very well. And then collectively you can create great things. Early Birds Club and all those kind of things where you add value to many people's lives. Your life will get more value or you will feel that reciprocation happening to you. It will get reciprocated. Means when you deliver, you also get a lot of rewards. So if your family cannot see you as a great personality, the society will see you. That is compensation. I leave this thought on your plate and contemplate on it and improve your life. Change your attitude. Be powerful. Lots of love. This is Mohanji.
That would be podcast. Now, if you have any questions about it, you can write to podcast team, or at the moment you can ask me even and post a message here in the under the video. So this is about how we can actually respond to situations. So in cases of various situations of restlessness, of attention disorder syndromes, of depression or aggression, of violence of various kinds, whether turned within or turned outward, all kinds of situations of disbalance, psychological disbalance, get even emphasized in the lockdown when the movement is limited and we are more inside. So how are we going to experience life then? Actually, how are people who feel suffocated even more and frustrated, how are they going to experience life is actually given here, that we have a choice. We are not bound to react emotionally in a certain way. We have that choice to respond in a different way, to observe our emotions, but observe what is happening. So how are we generally experiencing our life? Well, when we fail, people judge us. When we succeed, people love us and accept us. Sometimes when we succeed, they cannot forgive our success. This happens as well. So there is some kind of outside general acceptance or non-acceptance of people. There is some acceptance per certain concepts, per certain beliefs. So actually, Mohanji mentions how money is the ruler here. And if you have got money and share it, then if you have money, if you earn money, if you show it to the outside world, then people appreciate you and in a way they respect you. And if you don't have any money, if you can't spend a lot, then they don't respect you in the society. So you don't have any status and you're not respected that much. So this is how it goes. But what we need to see here is that there is sometimes with a lot of money, a compromised conscience. So in that case, what happens? People maybe reach outside, but then very, very ill as far as ethics is concerned inside. So there is guilt conscience deep within, or even if it is not guilt, there is some kind of distortion of conscience, distortion of ethics. And it leads gradually to illnesses outside as well, although the person may not see that. If it doesn't happen to that person, that it happens later to the family itself, or even when it gets accumulated enough, like with corruption, all kinds of corruption, or this kind of compromised conscience, then the whole society becomes diseased in a way. When the ethics is diseased, then other diseases come as well. Yeah. So there is this ethical deterioration, and what comes is unstable people. So we actually need to see how we can create stable people, whatever happens outside, whether you have got money or not, whether you have so-called social success or not, social status or not, to become, to train yourself to be stable. If you're not accepted by your family, your own surrounding, it's very, very tough. It's very, very difficult and painful within. So what you can do in that situation, and if you experience difficulties, to see whether external help, external counseling, there are services of that kind which are available. And in case of true frustrations, true helplessness, true insecurity, true betrayals and just injustice, it is sometimes really, really too much to handle. So you can search for external help, and this is what is first necessary. But also we must see that we need to acknowledge each other whenever something good happens. Acknowledge, something good, because we tend to criticize when something is not good, but forget to acknowledge when we tend to criticize when something is bad or which we consider bad. But then there is forgetfulness about how we acknowledge what is good. So when somebody does something really, really appreciative that we feel we are happy about, that we feel really grateful about, then if we do not express that, it's really, really pity. The effect becomes reduced. So balance then disappears gradually. We need to acknowledge and appreciate talents, especially children, to appreciate their talents. So whether these talents are required in the society or not, just to appreciate themselves, to appreciate their talents and build their confidence in that, to bring them up with love and confidence. In that way, they become stable. They can appreciate themselves. Whatever happens outside, they will find that stability inside themselves. So when difficulties happen, Mohanji mentioned the war and how he was sent to Iraq. I can remember my experiences from the wars here in Serbia. This is a very, very tough region as far as wars are concerned. There has been a lot of restlessness in various, let's say, batches. First, after the World War, second, there in the 80s, there has been breaking of the former Yugoslavia, then the wars because republics of Yugoslavia were fighting against each other. So for more than 50 years we were together, and then we started, waging wars against each other. It's like autoimmune disease. So I feel like one part of your body is then fighting against another part of body and cannot accept itself. Imagine how your one part of body cannot accept the other part, like autoimmune disease, allergy to something that is a part of yourself. Imagine that, right? So brotherhood, Serbs against Croatians and Croatians against Serbs. So it's really, really catastrophic in a way. So we needed to accept that, and then later embargo and NATO bombarding us, like Serbia was not good for some reasons. So import was forbidden in a while, and then bombs were coming, breaking everything. Their infrastructure was disrupted. All kinds of difficulties were there. Fear for survival increased a lot. So we needed to find some stability there. I personally had a lot of fights and inner fights, and a lot of feeling of injustice, feeling of hurt and pain, and all kinds of that was what I needed to deal with. And not only me, it became like collective consciousness. And so what we can do actually, and what Mohanji offers here, what I gradually built in myself earlier, that we can ourselves find this stability within, decide we're not going to suffer whatever happens outside. If the world doesn't appreciate us and makes an error about that, if there is mistake about labeling the whole nation as somehow bad, labeling the whole nations with propaganda as, harmful, although this is a tiny part in the whole world, and then the whole world bombards it because this is like a small country is bad. So why would that happen? So actually we need to find this appreciation within. Do not pay attention to the branding from the outside. Find a stability within, love yourself, appreciate yourself, find how much love and balance you can create in the world, how much equanimity, how much recognition you can create in the world. And you recognize first within your heartbeat. First, simple things that we take for granted. Appreciate the breath, appreciate long inhalation and exhalation. Appreciate that you have a place to stay, that you have a place without being frozen to death or without being like overheated to almost death, or let's say suffering, or starved to death. So this is a really, really appreciating things that sustain us first, and then appreciate uniqueness in us, and then appreciate uniqueness in others. Accept others as unique creations. Accept each person as they are, because nobody's higher, nobody's lower, nobody's equal. Everybody's unique, and you are unique as well. Appreciate that uniqueness in yourself. Find what talents you have, what talents you can discipline yourself to nurture even more and share with the world. We have a Mohanji Foundation platform. Mohanji created a lot of platforms exactly for that reason, that we can share our talents, that we can learn skills and share the skills, share our time, find new friendships. And even if the family doesn't allow that, if family is, let's say, judgmental or doesn't understand that, you can find your equanimity through your internet, through laptop, computer, mobile phone. You've got Wi-Fi, you've got internet. So this is how you can connect to the people who really, really understand you and can support you. This is really, really awesome. So this platform helps you find positivity and create positivity. It helps you create good thoughts, create good words, create good actions, create better life for yourself and others. So after you get knocked down, you can rise up. You train yourself to rise up faster. So after you get knocked down, instead of feeling victimhood, injustice, all kinds of negative emotions, betrayal hurts the most. Whether physical or emotional pain, if somebody abuses you, if you feel traumatized for various kinds of circumstances, you need just to find your own, heartbeat, breath, find your own dignity, find your own inner light, inner power that you have there, and then find a group of people who are supportive for you, who are really, really appreciative of you, who are loving and nurturing, who are not judgmental. In the conflicts, let's say, when a person tries, this is like a metaphor, not a direct thing, but imagine when somebody tries to, punch you, smack you, if you do not fight back in a way, imagine it needs two hands to make a sound. You don't need to quarrel. So if a person just tries and tries to insult you, to say you're like donkey, monkey, whatever names he or she can call you, you can just feel stable inside and respond with you, apple, banana, strawberry, cherry. In that way, you are not making that sound. You're not adding up to really, really anger, hatred, jealousy, revenge. You are not adding to all kinds of toxic emotions. You're not growing it into something even worse. You actually soothe the situation down as much as possible. So this is your real power. You can have a choice to respond. You don't need to, respond and then make a lot of sound, make a lot of more violence, whether emotional or physical. You can moderate it in that way. So this is about that. Then you have option to have consistency in how you behave, not only express this situationally once in a while, but to really, really build it as a habit, to make it a character, and to express that consistently in the society. Mohanji said, when you express that consistently in the society then mirrors that to you. So imagine the society which mirrors back your kindness, compassion, sharing and caring, your stability. Then helpfulness instead of helplessness. It mirrors back gratitude and everything like that. So when you express that consistently, when you flow like a water, always finding solutions instead of helplessly giving up and say, I can't do that, it's bigger than me, I can't do it, I'm stuck, you can find ways. Feel how water is flowing. Feel how it comes across an obstacle and finds its way. It wanders left and right. It finds its way. Don't get stagnant. Don't become like smelly pool of water, smelly pond, which doesn't have life in it. Find your own ways. It's possible. The power is already within you. So appreciate that first, recognize it, respect it, and express it. It will really, really be helpful, not only for yourself, but for the people around you, for the people you socialize with. We welcome you to Mohanji Foundation, to Mohanji platform, and to join our charity work, to join and share your skills in whichever way you want. And you will really, really feel the positive effects of this service, selfless service for the heart and soul. Then in that way, if you approach this with determination that you're not going to be victim, that you're not going to suffer like that, to allow yourself to be down when somebody knocks you down, but that you will raise up every time you get knocked down. That change of the attitude builds your stamina, builds even more determination and passion towards life. You will not feel without any ideals, without any, purpose. Then you have the purpose. Then you will have the passion for life. You will not be bored. You will not be a victim. So therefore, change your attitude. Express love, kindness, compassion first towards yourself, and then others. Equality, equanimity. Create balance in life. Create positivity. Create respect. Create reward. Create recognition. And see how life changes. Thank you for your attention. And I wish you a wonderful day and a great life ahead. Don't give up yourself. Build your life as best as can be to your fullest potential. Lots of love.